How are you travelling about on your wedding day? If you don't know what all the options are, then you don't want to miss this video. Before we get started, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and think about subscribing. I post videos on weddings, wedding planning and tarot readings related to weddings. My social media will be in the description and you can find me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Now let's get started with the different transport you can have on your wedding day. How you get about on your wedding day depends on your wedding venue and if you need to be there before the guests arrive. When I got married, we had our wedding reception and ceremony all in one venue, and because it was a civil ceremony, I had to be there before everyone arrived anyway. So me, my dad, my mum and my bridesmaids all got in a large London taxi that took us to the venue with a ribbon on the front, and then that taxi came and picked us up, me and my husband up in the evening, and to head off to our hotel. So we didn't need any fancy transport to get around because we were all in one venue. But if you are having more than one venue, then you're going to need transport to get between venues. Or if you're getting ready at home and you have to get to a church, then you'll also need transport to get you there. So what are the options? A vintage Rolls Royce, high-class Mercedes, your uncle's car, horse and carriage, stretch limousine, hot air balloon. There are many options available, so I'm going to have a run through the main options that you can use on your wedding day. Number 1, the vintage car. There is so much choice when it comes to these types of vehicles. Everyone knows the Rolls Royce or the Bentley, but there are many other options available. These cars are very photogenic and they have plenty of room for big dresses. Vintage cars are lovely, but they don't like doing long distances, so do check with the hire company to see how far they're prepared to travel. If you do like a particular vehicle, book it straight away because it's likely the only one available. Number 2, the stretch limousine. A stretch limo is great to fit everyone in all at once. A European limousine can fit 7 plus the driver, and an American style limousine can fit up to 14. Perfect if you've got lots of bridesmaids. So know your numbers before deciding which is the best option. Think about where the limousine is going to be travelling to. A limo might struggle to get down a narrow country lane or through a tight turn onto a driveway or up that narrow track to your marquee. Make sure you plan your route with the driver so he can take this into consideration. Number 3, the groom's car. The groom often wants to arrive in style himself, and there are many styles to choose from. You can hire anything from an Aston Martin to a Bugatti Veyron, but these cost almost as much as the average wedding to hire. There's also the Ferrari, the E-Type Jag, and many convertibles. These can be hired as self-drive. You'll need a clean licence, and I shouldn't have to add, please don't drink and drive. Number 4, the vintage bus. This is a great option for transporting all your guests between venues. I love vintage buses and I've been on them as a guest and also arranged plenty for my couples. Again, you have to think about distance and access to your venue. If you're having a marquee wedding and that marquee is at the top of a hill, the vintage bus will have to stop at the bottom and all your guests will need to walk up to the top. Some large buses might also struggle on narrow country lanes, so make sure you check your route with the driver before hiring. Number 5, horse and carriage. Love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage. If you favour a fairy tale wedding or you're the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, then the horse and carriage is the perfect way to arrive at your reception venue, castle, or just ride the streets waving at passers-by. The main thing you have to be aware of with the horse and carriage is the animal's welfare. Distance is limited to only a few miles and there should be no steep hills. You might get to keep some manure for your garden afterwards though. Number 6, a motorbike. I coordinated a wedding day once and the bride arrived on the back of her father's motorbike. She only came up the drive to the venue on it and it was done just for dramatic effect and for the photographs, but she did look cool carrying her bouquet. Number 7, other options. There are many options available depending on where you are. Depending on the location, budget and destination, You can arrive by hot air balloon, speedboat, helicopters, replicas of famous cars. I'm thinking Herbie the Beetle or the DeLorean from Back to the Future, or the Batmobile, Delboy's van, the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo, tandem bicycles. You can arrive on elephants, camels and donkeys. If you've got a waterway nearby, you could arrive by boat, or you could take a steam train. Choices, choices. Things to remember. Breakdowns do happen. Breakdowns can occur with both modern and vintage cars, so it's important to hire a reputable company who will have professional mechanics who will check over the vehicles before they're dispatched to you, and can also have backup vehicles in case of emergencies. All vehicles should have breakdown cover. If you hire someone with the one car or a family member's vintage car, then you could be left with no car at all. Check that the car you want to hire is in good condition and it has a maintenance record. Also, ask the car company, chauffeur or family member if they have a contingency plan should the worst happen. So what do you do if this does happen to you on your wedding day? Don't panic. There's normally somebody who can get you there. Someone can drive you in their car, you can call a taxi. It's just transport, it's not the end of the world. With all the stress and emotions running high on your big day, you could feel that this has ruined your day. Take a few deep breaths. In the grand scheme of things, it's just a car. Call a taxi, get there on time, and at some point you'll have a laugh about it, and you can always claim the cost back on your insurance. So, in summary, decide if you need transport. How many people do you need to transport? What is the distance involved? What are the roads like? What is your budget? Pick your transport. Factor in travel time, and also if there are any roadworks, market days, sporting events, etc. that could mean more time should be allowed. Have a contingency plan and a taxi company number, just in case. So I hope you found this little video on transport useful, and you've got an idea of the different sorts of transport available, and if you think you'll actually need transport or not. And hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now. Just to add, my book, Planning a Wedding, The Wedding Planner Way, will be out soon. If you want to be the first to know when it comes out, check out the description for details of how to be notified. Bye for now.